going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another MLB 22 The Show Diamond Dynasty video. In today's video, we're going to talk about collections, the cheapest way to get them done, are they worth it, and a couple tips and tricks that I use when I get team collections done. Now, if you guys enjoy this video, if you like it, if it helps you out, do me a favor, make sure to go ahead and click that thumbs up button. Shows a lot of support on the channel, helps the videos get noticed, and also if you're brand new here because you're searching around YouTube for Diamond Dynasty information, whether it's how to complete team collections, how to make stubs, how to get free packs, you found the right channel. Stay a while, click that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on so you guys are alerted when we drop additional videos. Let's get on into it. So for collections, you're going to go to your collect tab and then to, guess what, collections, and we're going to focus mainly on live series collections today. Now, there are a lot of rewards, free cards, I shouldn't say free cards, but cards you can earn from doing various collections. Each individual team has their own collection, and then each division has a collection card if you complete that entire division, and then if you complete the entire conference, you can get yourself like the AL and NL cards, and then if you complete both of those, well, you can get this 99 overall Randy Johnson. So it's going to be very expensive to do so. And a lot of my videos are going to focus to all of you no money spent players. So realistically, to get this done, it's absolutely possible. It can take a while. The number one way to get there and to get any of these collections done, obviously you're going to need stubs, is you're going to have to flip cards. And a couple days ago, we did put out a video tutorial going over how to flip cards. Very efficient way to make stubs, whether you wanted to do these team collections or you just want to buy cards to build up your squad. Either route, definitely go check out that video. We will link it down below in the comment section as a pinned comment on how to flip cards. Now, a very useful tool when it comes to doing team collections is going to be showzone.io. I would definitely recommend bookmarking this website. We used it in our flipping tutorial, and we're going to use it for team collections. So when you go to the website, if you look to the left, you can't see it on my screen right now, there's a bunch of different options. You're going to click collections, a little drop-down menu pops up, and then it has live series. If you click live series, it's going to show you what we're looking at now. And basically what this does is it calculates the cost of each set, or each collection, I should say. So that's for the individual ones, the ones for the divisions, you know, the AL and NL, and the MLB ones. So they have two different columns, buy low and buy high, and I'm going to tell you now, you always want to buy low. So these are the prices that you can realistically expect, and you might be able to get them even cheaper to get these sets done. So like I said, with the Randy Johnson, it's going to be expensive. You roughly need about 1.8, almost 1.9 million stubs in order to get it done. For the AL Live Series, you know, a little bit under 900,000. For the, where's the NL? If we scroll down, I think they're in alphabetical order, maybe not. They are by each team or division. So NL Live Series is 929,000 stubs. So if there's a particular live series team collection that you want to do and you're wondering like how many stubs are you going to need kind of going into it, this gives you a great idea, and you can actually shoot for lower than this left hand column, the buy low column. To the far right are the player rewards, and looking through them, I kind of feel like whatever you put into it is what you're going to get out. And what that means is, as far as right now goes, like the collections that are going to give you good cards require a couple diamonds to do the collections, and you know the cost kind of is equal to the output of what that collection is going to give you. Now, one thing to keep in mind, right, is if you're not super pressed to get these done, it's not a bad idea, or maybe you just can't afford to, or you're building up your stub count. It's not a bad idea just to go slow on these, because eventually we're going to have roster updates. And if you guys are new to the game, roster updates change the overalls of the live series cards. And we've seen plenty of examples over the years where we can see cards that are diamonds right now get decreased all the way down to gold, even sometimes silver, and that's obviously going to tank the price. Now, it can work the other way around, where some cards that are silver and gold could go diamond, but generally we don't see those cards go up a ton in price. Some will, some are kind of, you know, some special players are going to make that jump, and they're going to be fairly expensive. But at the end of the day, unless you're like a content creator or a very, very competitive player, don't feel like you need to have all of these team collections done, because once those roster updates start coming out, the prices to complete some of these could drastically change. Now, as far as completing them, this is kind of the method and route that I like to take. So I'm actually going to back out of the collection section totally in Diamond Dynasty, and I actually like to go to my inventory and then my MLB players. And I just simply hit our R1 button and we kind of sort through each team. And if you look right under your stub count there, Red Sox, 40 of 40. The goal here is to get to 40. Another thing to point out here is as like a team's roster changes, some of these cards that are in here right now could totally go away, or if a player gets traded and a new player could get added in. So the prices, the cards, the requirements to complete some of these live series collections fluctuate throughout the year. But as I tab through, I just want to get over to one that we have not completed yet. I've knocked out, most of the AL. The AL West is very expensive to do, and we're kind of working our way towards it. I want to find a team that's a little bit less expensive. So here's a good one. The Oakland A's. We actually have most of the higher overall cards that they require. But typically what I do is I go through, and this is a good way to clear out your binder or your inventory as well, is I just attack it team by team. And in this case, if today I felt like attacking the A's, well, I'm going to go through, and all of the cards that I need, I'm actually going to buy like 5 or 6 of them. We talked about this in our flipping tutorial. We always want to go, like they said, for the low price. So please never do a buy now option. I could buy this card right now for 147 stubs. I know it doesn't seem like a huge difference if I, paid 147 versus 84 stubs, but in the end of the day, number one, we want to get these done for the cheapest way possible. Number two, in the long run, it's definitely going to save you. And in my opinion, cards, especially this early in the year, they sell so fast. People sell them to you. You can sell them to people. It's just worth it to have a little bit of patience to get these cards cheaper than they normally would go. So what I would do is I would just go to buy order, create buy order, and I'm going to uppercut, as I like to say, the lowest offer, or I should say the highest offer right now, and I'm going to go like 88. Now, we still need to put out a tutorial on how to do this, or how to buy and sell cards on the companion app, and it's so much cheaper. You can type in your price on your phone and just keep pressing the same button, and you can put in 5 orders just like that. But for console purposes, like I said, I'm typically going to buy like 5 to 6 of these cards. And as you can see, as I'm doing it right now, a couple of these are selling to me. So I needed a Steven Vogt for this collection, and now I have that card. But not only do I have that card, I have a bunch of them. So now I would go through and I would sell all of the ones, excluding the one that I'm obviously going to need. So we go right back to sell here, and we list it for like of course we're going to undercut here. So we list it for like 141. So I'm roughly making about 50 stubs here on this sale, but we're buying 5 or 6 of them. So 50 times 5 is 250 stubs that we're making. So I would sell all of the dupes that I have, and I would basically go through and do that with each player. So Jed Lowry, we're going to do the same thing, and you'll get kind of a practice at doing this once you kind of get in this routine. I'm going to uppercut this, and I'm going to go 99, so I'll put like 5 orders in. For time purposes, for video purposes, I'm only going to put like 3 or 4, but I would put like 5 or 6 orders in at 99 stubs. And then once somebody sells them to me or starts to sell them to me, I would go in and sell all of them, excluding one that I need to keep for the collection. And this way, the way I look at it, right, is that you're collecting the cards that you need for the collection, but by buying a couple extra every time and just kind of being on the screen and going in this fashion, you're almost like the profits I'm making from the Steven Vogt card is going to pay for the Jed Lowry, and the profits I might make for flipping the Jed Lowry, well, they're going to pay for Austin Allen, and the profits that I make for Austin Allen, well, at this point, it's just a snowball effect. They're all rolling into each other. That might pay for Jonah Bride and Danny Jimenez, or whatever his last name is. And at the end of the day, with all the dupes that you have, if you go in and sell those along the way, like, I don't want to say you're getting some of these done for free, because obviously when you look at the more expensive sets, you got to pay a lot for Ohtani and Trout. And even if you look at the Mariners, like Robbie Ray's probably, a little under 10K. But you could, flip enough cards for one team to make 8K, and that's going to pay for the Robbie Ray. And yes, that was a bar, greatest rapper alive. So, for the Mariners, I would do the same thing. I would go in and I would buy a bunch of his cards here. This is a pretty good flip as well. See that little 200 plus profit, margin? I would go up to make maybe 215, put in a couple orders here. And this is another way to kind of keep track of what you're doing, right? If you do it by division, you can slowly knock them out. And, one thing that I hear a lot of people say, and I totally agree, it takes forever to sell duplicates. So if you do it in this fashion, if you focus on one team at a time or one division at a time, and I'm not going to do it because it's going to take forever in this video, but if I go through and sell all of my duplicate A's here now, and I'm talking like even these cards, I'm going to sell this for 29 stubs. And I know some of you might feel like it's a waste of time, but if you're no money spent, these are the things you have to do. Madden, the show, Diamond Dynasty, whatever, you're always going to spend either time or money, and at the end of the day, you got to pick one or the other. If you want to play an Ultimate Team mode, if you don't like to do either or, money or time, well then you need to go play Now or Regs, or just don't be playing an Ultimate Team or Diamond Dynasty type game mode. So again, the 29 stubs I'm selling those cards for could be profit towards Jed Lowry, and if we snowball it enough, they could start to turn into profits for the Mariners cards, and then on to, you know, whatever division we move on to. So I pretty much focus on doing this for every team. I've been slacking a little bit, and I will go through and do this for gold and below. The diamonds, I'm either going to hope that I can pull these cards eventually from free packs, from Conquest or whatever, you know, face of the franchise at this point. And then I'll continue to try to make stubs by flipping cards, whether through this method of completing these team collections or just flipping cards in general. And when I get a nice amount of stubs, like I'm at 200K, I think I'm going to attack the Mets collection next. We'll get some nice pitching. And that's kind of my final tip here, is that if you look at the rewards, like the Gary Carter card is pretty solid coming from here, but at the end of the day, you're paying for Gary Carter, and I mean, in this case, you're getting two really, really good starting pitchers with Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer. So if we complete this collection, yes, it's going to be expensive, but we're getting one of the best catchers in the game, two very good starting pitchers. So the price, when you think of it that way, it starts to make a little bit more sense. If you were doing the Phillies and you needed a third baseman, you get the Mike Schmidt here, you get Zach Wheeler, a solid starter, and you get Bryce Harper, one of the best bats in the game. So look at it that way. If there's like certain positions you need to upgrade your team, look at the cost amongst, you know, the show zone as we showed you a moment ago. And if you got 40K and you need a third baseman, an outfielder, and a starting pitcher for 41, between 35 and 41,000 stubs, I think that's pretty good to get 3 diamonds on your squad. And if any of those Philly players happen to get upgraded throughout the year, they got a pretty solid team. You might have some more diamonds in your pocket. You got the supercharged cards. I drew a blank there, my bad. But supercharged cards could play a large effect if you have a lot of these cards in your binder. And that's another very small tip here, is that it's also not a bad idea to maybe hang on to some of these lower overall cards, because if they do get supercharged and you have 4 of them, you know, you can sell them for a little bit of an elevated rate. It kind of happened with Kershaw today. Now, I got lucky with this one, but I happen to have 2 Kershaws in my possession, and I sold them both. And I'm happy I did, because I sold them for 20K each, and he's already down to 13K. So I can go back and buy this one because I know I'm going to need it eventually, or I can wait until his supercharged period is over and then buy it. So keep that in mind when you're doing collections with all these duplicates, especially the lower overall cards. There is some profit that can definitely be made, and obviously with roster updates, that as well. But hopefully this helped you out on your journey to completing team collections in Diamond Dynasty. Thank you for watching the video. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.